we need to talk. So when we replaced the transom, I kind of just accepted the idea that we were going to be stuck with the inboard outboard. I didn't really want to stick with that, but with the weight distribution and the hole we put into the new transom, I kind of felt like that was what we were locked into. I've spent the last month and a half researching places that could restore or put in a brand new inboard outboard. And when I say this, I genuinely mean this, every marine mechanic shop within 100 miles of me no longer works on inboard outboard motors. And after I found one guy that could do it and he quoted me for 20 G's, I said, long story short, I've been doing a little bit of thinking. I talked to my good friend, Tim, and he says we can plug this bad boy up. We have a few different options of outboard brackets. We're gonna bolt this puppy up just a touch and throw an outboard on it. Now, for those of you who are wondering about the old motor that was inside of the boat, probably moving a family of 48 moccasins. I know there's a snake in here. It's not even a question, it's just a matter of when is it gonna bite me. This is the original, I believe, Ford motor from the itty bitty. Wow, it still smells like black mold. It's incredible. As most of you know, I bought this truck with the intentions to pull the itty bitty around the country when we finish this thing. And simply put, I just don't know if a 50-year-old motor that's already been rebuilt is the thing that I want to trust as I'm pushing this boat to its limits. Don't get me wrong, I'm positive that we could get this motor running again. I don't think it's a complete waste. I just don't think it's the right fit with the boat that I'm pouring so much time and resources and money into. I could be completely wrong, and to be honest, I'm completely wrong most of the time, but there's a part of me that feels like if we go outboard route, we'll be able to put a test motor on the boat, see how it does, and if it does well, we could upgrade to a really modern, nice outboard that pretty much every marine shop would be willing to work on. So we're behind Tim's fiberglass shop, and this is where I like to relieve myself. The bathroom's nice, but it's not the best bathroom I've ever been in. Long story short, I was out here peeing on this tire right there not too long ago, and I looked up and said, most of you know I have a love-hate relationship with Evinrude Johnson Outboards. So we had the local marine mechanic come out here and give this a look over. It has really good compression. Everything looks pretty good in there. It's leaking a little bit of hydraulic fluid, but it's nothing major. We still got to find a way to get Tim to give me a good deal on this thing. He hasn't given me a price yet. I think he might be trying to milk me for every penny that I have, that dirty dog. I probably won't leave that in. He's a great guy. I just love joking around, if you haven't picked up on that. I don't want to start out with a brand new 150, 250 if the boat is not completely fixed and if the outboard bracket doesn't work accordingly. So I wanted to find a nice starter outboard that we could throw on the back of the itty bitty. One thing I'm finding in this project, I want to be done so bad that I just sometimes make terrible decisions. A little bit of patience can go a long ways. Very long ways. It's a lot of talking. I'm kind of bored myself. Now it is time to address the biggest problem with the itty bitty, and that is with age, things begin to sag. It's just a part of being on this planet. The beautiful thing about the itty bitty though is with enough hard work, you can remove some of that saggage, make stuff more firm like it was when it was originally made. You know what I mean. There we go. So the goal for today, you guys saw me replace this frame in my backyard. It has not been fiberglassed in. We still have not put any windows in. And the boat still shakes tremendously. What we have found is that most of the shaking in the boat is coming from the back. There's nothing bracing up this back wall, and we've got a little bit of a sag coming in. The original builder of the itty bitty used 1-bys to frame this thing up, which really gives no structural integrity to the walls whatsoever. It's more just something to hold the shape of the boat than anything. We're gonna go ahead and put 2x4s on the back wall, hoping we can take some of the sag out of the roof and prevent so much shaking. She's been shaking rear a lot, like my mom. All of my mom jokes are just a joke. My mom's a wonderful lady with great morals. We have properly cut all the studs in the top and bottom halves of the first wall we're putting in. First wall is gonna go up to the bend in the back wall, come straight across. Because we can't really get a good level in here and it's really tight, we're gonna build the frame outside the boat, put it in. Hopefully that'll pull the fiberglass right. We have a couple tricks up our sleeves to really make sure this thing stops sagging. What's the high for today, you know? Is it 100 again?
I think so. And I didn't bring like the air nailer. Figured you want this as strong as possible when you screw it in.
Yeah. It's always awkward when my father-in-law talks about screwing. EcoFlow stepped up to the plate when no other companies would and paid Tim for his hard work. Because Lord knows I didn't have the money. A quick reminder, they have portable, eco-friendly ways to cool you down when you're outside getting all nice and sweaty. They freed me up to wear khakis when I'm out in public now. It's a beautiful feeling, especially with the condition that I've had. They're currently running one of their biggest sales of the year. Some items are 50% off, some of them are 900 bucks off. They've supported the Itty Bitty. Make sure to show them some love by clicking on the link in the description. Now back to the Itty Bitty. Nice. With this frame, we're gonna compromise a little bit of the space that the Itty Bitty has in the back. Probably gonna create something that I hit my head on again. The one thing that I found in this boat is when you're climbing up the ladder with this 1x frame, with a man of my stature, she likes to cave in a little bit. I want everybody in my family to be able to climb up on here, be safe. I'm hoping these 2x4s give us a lot more sturdy feel.
Is this just like a dead area right here?
Yeah, there's nothing in there but plywood and foam.
Alright, so if you kind of back off right here, you should be good.
Let me check.
You want both sides matching, right?
Yeah, symmetrical. I don't see any screw tips, baby. Very nice. So flush on both sides?
Uh-huh. Better?
We are in the middle of cutting 45-degree angle 2x4s to brace this slanted part of the back wall. So we're gonna have a deck directly behind it, paneling, and then steps up to the deck. So we don't have to worry about fiberglassing in this. So we can run plywood on each side of this, which will strengthen this frame even more, let the Itty Bitty shake a lot less.
What?
This thing's never been in one walker.
Let's hope not. There's a chance my daughter will be in here. I'm not as concerned about my daughter and my son-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The frame has been secured. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's strips of plywood running with foam and then fiberglass on this roof. Not very stable. We're gonna do a little bit of work on top of it. But for now, look at that. That's impressive. It's doing what it's supposed to. Fiberglass is made to flex and move. You don't want it to be locked still, but doesn't feel like it's about to rip in half if a wind gust comes our way. We are gonna have to remove this for the doorway, but we got plywood coming in. Plywood, huh? Oh. I was nervous. I was really nervous. I've never seen a boat move as much as the itty bitty has been moving. She was letting it all hang out. It was flapping for the whole town to see, but as you guys saw yesterday, we ended up cutting the middle section of the frame out. Then we added plywood to every square inch of this frame, excluding where the door is gonna go in the back wall. Keith was telling me the whole time that the plywood was gonna be a game changer. It is seriously a drastic difference from what it was to what it is now. I feel 100 times safer bringing out the man, the myth, the legend, Davy Gravy, and the old sugar mama. So it's a really good feeling knowing this boat has a little bit more backbone. So the thing that I found as I've been studying fiberglass and how to remodel boats, a lot of people don't realize fiberglass is made not to be sturdy and stiff like wood. It's made to flex. If you build a frame too sturdy and too stiff, it puts too much pressure on the fiberglass. So when you hit a wave, there's nowhere for the fiberglass to kind of flex and bend, therefore resulting in a little bit of ripping. That's why most boats have ribs, so it can kind of move and flex like the human body. After I left yesterday, Keith ended up framing up some new window slots for me. We're gonna have the fiberglass out. A lot of these windows were super retro and I wanted to keep them all. I ended up breaking 2 of these windows when I flipped my truck 6 months ago. So we're having to get a little creative on this window and this window right here. We went ahead and framed a 36-inch by 18-inch slot for a window. Not gonna lie, it's kind of bittersweet because I wanted to keep the boat windows exactly how they were. Oh man, I did not know what I was signing up for when I bought this thing, but golly, I appreciate each and every one of you hopping on here. We got some shirts on the way, don't you worry. To the 12 people that want them. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Oh, gooey. Apparently you can just take part of this motor apart and not have to cut the fiberglass off, but sometimes, you know, you get advice that could be questionable, but you have no other advice coming in. So you go with it and, you know, it's not that big a deal. I mean, it's only like another $1,000 in fiberglass repairs. That's not what you want, a transom?
You need to take off your motor, you know, shoot up through yonder.